Even after considering the rules to be followed for filling any atomic orbitals, we should know that extra information regarding stability of either half-filled or completely filled orbitals. So what is this exactly about this half-filled or completely filled orbitals? First, as you know, degenerate orbitals. Which are those degenerate orbitals? ಈಗ ಪಿ ಸಬ್ಶಲಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಪಿ ವೈ ಮತ್ತು ಪಿ ಝೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಮೂರನ್ನ ಡಿಜನರೇಟ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ even though they are differing in the orientation along the three axes, but these three px, py and pz orbitals have got same energy, hence they are said to be degenerate orbitals. And if you go for d orbitals, that is dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square, these orbitals have got identical energy. They are also said to be degenerate orbitals. And now here, as I mentioned here, stability of either completely filled or half-filled subshells. Now we can consider those degenerate orbitals first. Which are those degenerate orbitals? The degenerate orbitals, we can skip off s and we can go for p. So that is px, py, pz. And which is another one we have to remember. So that is dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square. You have to remember these three, that is these two orbitals, and of course as I mentioned here that we have to remember 7 orbitals. Need not mention those names for those 7 specific orbitals. And here you remember here px, py, pz. Totally how many orbitals will be present there? 3 orbitals will be present. For d subshell, how many orbitals will be present over there? There will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So totally there will be 5 orbitals available in the d subshell. Now these 3 set of orbitals are said to be degenerate orbitals, and these 5 set of orbitals are said to be degenerate orbitals. They belong to different subshell, p subshell and d subshell. And here, now if you go for yes, maximum electrons can be accommodated will be 2. Half filled means it is either 1. So we need not worry about yes. If you go for p, if it is half filled means, for half filled means it is P3. So electrons are singly filled. And in case if P is said to be completely filled, then you can mention it as P6. So we can write either P3 or P6. In case of P6, how you are going to fill the electrons? Of course, we can write this all are said to be parallel spins. Parallel spins ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ clockwise direction rotate ಆಗ್ತಿರಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ anti clockwise direction rotate ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದು. They have got symmetry even with respect to the spinning moment. And if you go for P6, it is representing P3. If you go for completely filled p orbital, 1, 2, 3, first they are filled singly before pairing takes place, then another 3 electrons are filled again, pairing takes place. If it is completely filled, again there is symmetry. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ P3 ನಲ್ಲೂ symmetry ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, P6 ಅಲ್ಲೂ symmetry ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Then if you go for D5, so let me fill the D subshell. If it is half filled, exactly half filled means we can mention it as D5. If it is completely filled means first, second, third electron, fourth electron, fifth electron. First we need to fill them singly before pairing takes place. Then 6th electron, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Totally the completely filled configuration D10. Then we can say if the d orbital is either half filled or d orbital if it is completely filled, you can find the distribution of electrons. There is symmetry in the distribution of electrons over here. So we can find there is a parallel spin with respect to singly filled electron. Even there is a symmetry with respect to distribution of electrons. In each and every orbital, you can find one electron is clockwise, other electron is anti-clockwise. Like that. So you are getting more symmetry with the distribution of electrons when degenerate orbitals like p, d, and even if you can consider f, if it is half filled means f7. If it is completely filled means f14. Then there will be symmetry as you can see here. So here, what are the reasons for the extra stability of either half filled or completely filled subshell? It is due to the relatively small shielding. Of course, if the electrons are filled in the same subshell, they are differing only in the orientation, but of course they are belonging to the same subshell, then that shielding will be very less. One orbital will not shield another orbital for attraction towards the nucleus because all the three electrons are equally attracted towards the center, that is towards the nucleus. ಯಾವ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಕಡೆ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಶೀಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ 3 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಶೀಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹೆನ್ಸ್ they are having more, that is equal energy, and are equally attracted towards the nucleus. Hence they have got relatively small shielding. They are more attracted towards the nucleus. And the next reason is very smaller Coulombic repulsion energy. So as they have got distributed with different axes like px, py and pz, the chances for repulsion among themselves is very less. Therefore, ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಗ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Therefore, the second reason is due to the smaller Coulombic repulsion energy. More the repulsion, lesser is the stability. Less of the repulsion, more is the stability. And the next reason is that is due to larger exchange energy. ಏನಿದು exchange energy ಅಂದ್ರೆ that energy released during the exchange of the position of the electrons. Exchange of the position of the electrons. How it is possible? ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ px, py, pz ಅದೇ ತರ dxy, dyz, dzx, dxy minus y square, dz square. Now we can consider ಈಗ px ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್, ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್, ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ತರ ದಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್. ಸೊ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇರೋದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇರೋದು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ವಿತ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಸ್, ಹೈಯರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಸ್ ಹೋದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಫರಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಟು just exchange with one electron with one position with the another electron. And here we can say second electron tagondaga, that second electron is having the capacity to exchange with the third, in case if it is singly filled. I am just telling it is only if it is singly filled means if there is a symmetry, the possibility for shifting of the electron. Let me consider here itself, the second electron can exchange with the third electron, like that. Similarly, if you go consider that first representation for degenerate orbital, when that exchange energy is released, for example, that first electron can get exchanged with second electron. Second electron first position barbodu, first electron second position barbodu. Similarly, first electron can exchange with third electron, first electron can exchange with fourth electron, even first electron possibility, another possibility can exchange with the fifth electron. So like this, there is still more possibilities for exchange of the positions among themselves. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಬ್ಶೆಲ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ they can easily get exchanged with respect to their positions. Hence, we can say that during this exchange, there is release of certain amount of energy that is called as exchange energy. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೆನ್ಸ್ more the larger the exchange energy, more is the stability. That is how we can consider these are the certain reasons where we can apply for the extra stability of either completely filled or half filled subshells. ಈ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ they will just not follow the same, that is normal ground state electronic configuration, but there will be certain exceptions in the regular electronic configuration that can be well explained with the help of this extra stability of either completely filled orbital or half filled orbitals. Lastly, we can go for writing the electronic configuration for different elements with different atomic number. So ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಟಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್. So atomic number we can of course represent it by the symbol Z. If they have mentioned the atomic number, then it is easy to write the electronic configuration in examination. They can raise the question, write the electronic configuration for the element with atomic number 11 or atomic number 15 or atomic number 20. They can give any atomic number, then you can easily write the electronic configuration. Until and unless you don't remember this chart, you are not able to write the correct electronic configuration, because we can't by heart the electronic configuration for each and every element. So very first important thing you have to do is you just write that chart in pencil. So we can write in the answer script, we can write that chart with a pencil. Then with the help of this chart you are going to write the correct sequence of the different orbitals. Then we are going to fill up the electrons by following the rules what I have taught you in the previous video. Now we can just say there are certain rules we have to remember, like Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, Pauli's exclusion principle, Aufbau principle. By following all these rules, then it is easy for us to write the electronic configuration also. Now very first, we can start with the first element in the periodic table, that is hydrogen itself. What is the atomic number for hydrogen? That is atomic number is 1. Very first, according to this chart, we are writing that arrow mark downward. So it is indicating least energetic orbital is 1s, then 2s, then after 2s, 2p, then 3s, then 3p, 4s, then 3d, 4p, 5s, like that. Now once you start with hydrogen, we are starting with 1s orbital. Then I am writing 1s. Then how many electrons does it contain? According to atomic number 1, you should write only 1 electron. Hence, electronic configuration for hydrogen is 1s1. Then, for helium, what is that electronic configuration? You mentioned the same orbital, that is 1s itself, but you have to fill the electron 2. So, s orbital can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons, hence I have written here 2. Then, lithium atomic number 3, 1s2, 2s1. Because after filling the second electron, s cannot accommodate extra third electron. Then we should go for the next orbital. After filling 1s2, then we go for 2s. Then I can write 2s1. And one more representation for the electronic configuration. It is easy to write. How? We can just say whatever that 18 group elements, we can consider helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. There in the 18 group in the periodic table, first you will get that is helium, atomic number 2. Then after helium, neon, atomic number 10. Then after 10 we can go for, after helium, neon, argon, that atomic number 18. So let me consider that first element in the periodic table in the 18 group, that is helium. Instead of writing that lithium as 1s2 and 2s1, helium ಗೆ configuration 1s2 ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 1s2 ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬದಲು ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ನೋಬಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಂದ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ನೋಬಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್? ಅದು ಹೀಲಿಯಂ. ಹೀಲಿಯಂಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 1s2 ಇದೆ. Hence instead of writing 1s2, we can write within square bracket as He. He is representing 1s2 configuration. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 1s2 ಅಂತಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಹೀಲಿಯಂ ಅಂತಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. After that, next you should fill the remaining, that is 2s1. Then For beryllium, atomic number 4. So we can start with 1s2, then 2s2. Here 2s contains 1 electron, but here 2s contains 2 electrons. Then for this also you can write it as after helium 2s2. Then for boron, atomic number 5, 1s2, 2s2. After 2s, which is that next orbital, 2p. Then we are filling the p orbital with 1 electron, 2p1. Otherwise, you can write it as, instead of writing 1s2, you can write helium. After helium, 2s2, 2p1. Like this also you can write. After helium, 2s2, 2p1. It is also correct. It is also another alternate method of writing the electronic configuration. Then, for carbon, atomic number 6, 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally 6 electrons we have to fill. Then 2p you should mention it as 2. Then for carbon you can also write it as, after helium you can write 2s2, 2p2. Next element, nitrogen, we can say that atomic number is 7, 1s2, 2s2 and instead of writing 2p2 we have to fill one more electron, hence it becomes 2p3. We can accommodate the electrons in the p orbital until it will satisfy the number 6. Then after nitrogen, now the next to oxygen. Oxygen ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1s2 fill ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, 2s2 fill ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, 2p ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ fill ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, 2p 4 ಇದೆ. Then if you come for fluorine, atomic number 9, 1s2, 2s2, 2p 5. Then next element neon, atomic number 10, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Now it has got completely filled p orbital. Of course, we can say whichever that element which contains completely filled 6 subshell, it is nothing but ns2 np6 configuration. It is nothing but inert gas configuration. Outermost shell alli total 8 electrons ಇದೆ, ಇದು inner shell. Second shell is the outermost shell. ಇಲ್ಲಿ outermost shell ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 8 electrons fill ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. That is nothing but inert gas configuration. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ helium, neon, argon ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Inert gas configuration ಬರುತ್ತೆ, because they have got 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Now, once you can say neon 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Now we can take neon as standard for the next further elements. ಹೀಲಿಯಂ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೀಲಿಯಂನ ಅಬ್ರಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್. ಈಗ ನಿಯಾನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ 10 ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಅಬ್ರಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಆಸ್ ನಿಯಾನ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಇದೆ. ಸೋಡಿಯಂಗೆ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ 11, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬದಲು ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್, for this complete set I will write neon, then 3s1. Then magnesium. Magnesium it has got 12, atomic number 12. Then we can say neon 3s2. Up to neon it is 10. Remaining is 2. After 10, that is configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, next orbital 3s. Hence we can write it as 3s2. Then after magnesium, I am considering aluminum as example. Atomic number is 30. Then you can go for neon as complete configuration up to 10 electrons. After writing 10 electrons, then we can go for next orbital is 3s2. We can fill 3s2. Then after 3s, which is that next orbital, 3p. Then we have to write one last electron, because it has to satisfy totally how many electrons? 13 electrons. Then if I take another example, argon. Argon has got atomic number 18. Then you have to proceed 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. So here up to 2p6 we can mention it as, that is neon configuration itself. After neon configuration 3s2, 3p6. Now we have come to the argon as the configuration. whichever that next elements you are going to write after atomic number 18, you can take the help as argon as the abbreviated configuration. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ 2 ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೀಲಿಯಂ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ತಗೋಬಹುದು, ಹೀಲಿಯಂ ಅಬ್ರಿವೇಷನ್ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ನಿಯಾನ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ 10 ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ರಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ within the square bracket you have to mention. Got it? Like this you need to practice electronic configuration with a different atomic number. You can just check your NCERT textbook. They have mentioned different examples with respect to different atomic numbers along with their electronic configuration. You need to practice well all these different electronic configurations. Now we can go for one of the most important question they can raise in examination. They are going to ask question, either they will ask write the electronic configuration for the element with atomic number 24 or write the electronic configuration for the element with atomic number 29. Now, let me consider these one of the most important question they can raise in examination. Either they can ask regarding chromium or copper. Which are those two elements you should remember with respect to their configuration? One is for chromium, another one is for copper. ಇವೆರಡು electronic configuration ನ ನೀವು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Now, we can go for chromium. For chromium, atomic number is 24. Now, according to this chart, whatever it has given according to Aufbau principle. Now in examination you don't remember that sequence, isn't it? So you need to take the help of this chart. So let me follow this chart. For chromium, totally how many electrons we need to fill? 24. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? 1s ಇಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. 1s ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 electrons, 2s ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 electrons, next 2s ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 2p 6, 3s 2, then 3p, totally how many electrons? Maximum 6 electrons we can fill. Then we can write 4s, let me write it below, 4s 2 anta barkoltini because you are following Aufbau principle. 1 2 3 4, 4 plus 6 10, 11 12, 12, then 6 18, up to here 20. Then now we are going to fill the remaining 4 electrons after 4s, which is that next orbital 3d. Then 3d you will write it as 4. Obviously you will follow the Aufbau principle and you will write the same whatever the electronic configuration I have written on the board as it is. But you will not get marks for this electronic configuration. It is absolutely wrong because whatever that rule we will follow theoretically, if you write this configuration then it will be correct, but practically they come to know that it is not the right configuration for this chromium. There is exception in its electronic configuration. Why you will get that exception? Now as I told you lastly, after learning about the rules, what I said you before, either half filled or completely filled degenerate orbitals like d or p orbitals are said to be most stable. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, 4s ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 3d ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ 3d ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ 3d 5 ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಹಾಫ್ ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 3d 10 ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 3d ನಲ್ಲಿ 5 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 3d ನಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದು ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ 3d ನಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಈಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 1 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Then if you observe, first you will get 4s lesser energy and then you will get 3d. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4s ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 3d ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ 4s ಮತ್ತೆ 3d ಸಬ್ಶೆಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ energy difference between 4s and 3d subshell will be comparatively less. ಹಾಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, one of the electron from the s orbital it has got chance to jump to the d orbital. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 3d ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ 4 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 3d 4 will become 3d 5, 3d 4 will become 3d 5. So because 3d5 has got exactly half filled. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿನೂ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿ ಸಬ್ಶಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ 1 2 3 4 5 ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. 5 ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ ಆದಾಗ it has got more stability. Hence the correct electronic configuration for this chromium is, it is not 4s2 3d4 but it is 4s1 3d5. Now I think you can remember this correct or the exact electronic configuration for chromium. So in examination, if they raise the question for writing the electronic configuration for chromium, you need to remember that last sequence of filling the electron, you should remember it as 4s1 then 3d5. Or of course in textbooks they could have mentioned it as first they will write 3d5 then they will write 4s1. Nothing to worry. You can first write the third shell, you can mention the third shell orbital and then you can mention the fourth shell orbital. Writing is not matters, but only thing is filling of exact number of electrons matters here. Therefore, you have to remember 4s1 3d5, or otherwise you can write it as 3d5, then afterwards you can write 4s1. Both are correct. Now, once I have explained this configuration, exceptional configuration, they can raise question in examination like this. Why chromium has got exceptional configuration? That is 4s1 3d5. Then you should give the reason for this question. Since 3d orbitals, if they are filled exactly half filled, then the stability will be more. 3d5 configuration, the stability is more for chromium, hence it has got exceptional configuration. That is the reason. Now, if we go for another important configuration, that is with respect to copper. As you know, copper atomic number, it is 29. Now if I write the configuration according to the chart, you should follow the chart, same chart, 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6, then as usual you will write 4s2. According to rule, first you will fill 4s2, then 3d 9 you will write. That is according to Hofko principle. But of course, practically they came to know that this is not the right electronic configuration. Then which is that correct electronic configuration? As I told you in the previous case, if D is either half filled, exactly half filled, or completely filled, its stability is more. ಈಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ 4s ಮತ್ತೆ 3d ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 4s ಗಿಂತ 3d ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗೇನಾಯ್ತು, 3d ಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೇನಾಯ್ತು, one of the electron from s orbital jumps to the d orbital, hence 4s1, then here 3d 10 configuration you will get. This is the exact configuration for copper. Why copper has got exceptional configuration? If there is this question in examination, what will be your reason? Then you will give the same reason. If copper has got 3d 10 configuration, because of completely filled d orbital, its stability is more, hence it has got exceptional configuration. So these are the two important questions you have to remember for examination. Even you should remember the reasons along with the electronic configurations. You just practice all these electronic configuration, including remaining different examples whatever they are given in your NCERT text. We can discuss few MCQs now. So very first question is, which of the following represents the correct set of 4 quantum numbers of a 4d electron? So here is mentioned 4d electron. For that electron which is present in 4d, what are the correct set of quantum numbers? They are orderly given: principal quantum number, then azimuthal quantum number, then magnetic quantum number, then spin quantum number. Very first you should be able to write the different different quantum numbers by yourself. For 4d, principal quantum number n is equal to what number they have mentioned? 4. So agare ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Next, azimuthal quantum number ಬಂದಾಗ L ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. L is equal to, as I told you, L is equal to 0 1 2 3 stands for S P D. Then SPD means D is not 3, it is equal to 2. Because as I told you before, L is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 stands for S, P, D, F. D with respect to D, it is equal to 2. Then for M value, it varies from minus 2 to plus 2. Minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. Any number is possible between minus 2 and plus 2. Now you just cross check the numbers which is not correct here. Very first, n is equal to 4 correct, but L is equal to 3 wrong option. Here n is equal to 4, L is equal to 2 correct. But if you go for that m, so 1 is also possible because it is lying between minus 2 and plus 2. But last spin quantum number S is equal to either it should be plus half or minus half. But it is neither plus half nor minus half, hence this option is also wrong. If you go for this here, it is not correct because 3 will not give the correct option for the L. Here, n value is 4, but L value is wrong here. Hence, last option if you check, 4, it is 2 and it is 1 is also possible and minus half is also possible. Option D is the right answer. Then, second question. Electron enters the subshell for which n plus L value is minimum. This is enunciated as, actually in different orbitals, n plus L rule also support the one of that statement where that electrons are filled in different orbitals, the increasing order of their energy, isn't it? That same state is enunciated by which rule? Either Hund's rule, Aufbau principle, or Heisenberg uncertainty principle, or Pauli's exclusion principle. You can easily remember that is the right statement is given by Aufbau principle. It is one and the same with respect to n plus L rule because according to Aufbau principle, in different orbitals electrons are filled in the increasing order of their energy. It is also the same with respect to n plus L rule. So, right option is B. Then, Aufbau principle. Next question, Aufbau principle is not satisfied by. Here they have mentioned the pair of elements. We should consider both should satisfy for this question. Aufbau principle is not satisfied by. If there is exception, then absolutely we can remember that is the pair of option is chromium and copper. Both are not following that Aufbau principle because they have got exceptional configuration. But among these, copper and nitrogen will follow. Then it is not right option. Among chromium and magnesium will follow. Among these two, both will follow. Therefore, among the set of examples, both should not follow Aufbau principle. Then which is the right option? Option A is the right option. Then next question. What is the correct electronic configuration of Cu plus 2 for any given ion? ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ionic state ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ you don't get confused. First you go for that element. ಯಾವ element ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅದರ atomic number ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Here himself he has mentioned atomic number 29. Then you should be able to write the electronic configuration for that. So what is the electronic configuration for copper? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d10. This is the right configuration. In case if he has mentioned that copper has got plus 2 means plus represent removal of electron. If you remove 2 electrons, first electron should not be removed from the third shell. It is removed from the outermost shell. 3 ಮತ್ತೆ 4th ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು outer shell? 4. S in the first electron remove ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Next electron will be removed from 3D. Hence, here one electron, here one electron. You will get that exact configuration cross check over here, which is that correct configuration. Argon corresponds to 18. Then here up to here you can mention it as argon. Then you will get 3D9. So this is the right option. But here they have mentioned wrong. Argon it is 4s1 3D 8 wrong. Argon 4s2 3D 10 wrong. Then it is also wrong. 4s1 3D 10. So option D is the right answer. Okay, this is with respect to complete configuration. That is for copper, but he is asking for Cu plus 2. Therefore, option D is the right answer. Then one more question. The number of unpaired electrons in 1s2, 2s2, 2p4 is For considering the unpaired electron, you cross check with degenerate orbitals p, x, p, y, p, z. For p4 means first you fill the electrons singly. Electrons are filled singly before pairing takes place. That is according to Hund's rule. Then fourth electron is filled in px. Now how many unpaired electrons? 2 unpaired electrons. Therefore, which is the right option? Option 2 is the right option. So you need to practice different questions, MCQ questions like this. Then it will be very much helpful for you to people to just give the relevant answers in your future exams.